Hi, in this video we'll discuss some of the most used functions from the random module. To start off, we'll import all the functions from the module, then we'll have a look at the most important functions that return random numbers, and finally we'll have a look at some other interesting functions. Okay, so there are a couple of functions that return random numbers. First, we have to import from random, import all the functions. And now the first function is random. It generates a float number between 0 and 1, the upper bound not being included. For example, random. And here we get a random number. If we run the function again, we get a different number. And again, a different number. If we need a random integer between x and y, we can use the randin function, like so, randin, and pass two integers, for example 3 and 10 as arguments. And now this will generate a random integer between 3 and 10, both 3 and 10 being included. So the result is 8. Let's run it again. Now we get 10. And again, now we get 7. If we need a random floating point number between two numbers, we can use the uniform function. Have a look. Uniform, for example, 4 and 5. This will generate a random floating point number between 4 and 5. So we'll get, for example, this number. We can rerun this code. Now we'll get this number, a bit different. And again, this one. And again, this one. As you can see, all these numbers are between 4 and 5. Then we have the randRange function, which returns a random element from a range. So for example, randRange. The arguments are 5 and 8. These are start value, past value, not included, and here's the result, 5. Let me run it again, 5, and again, 7, and again, 5, and again, 6. Okay. We can use the randRange function with just one argument, and this is the past value. So for example, randRange with 3. And this generates, for example, 2, or 1, or 2, or 1. We can also use the randRange function with 3 arguments, and these are the start value, the past value, and the step. Here's an example, or 410, or 960. And now let's have a look at some other functions from the random module. The first function is shuffle. It rearranges all the elements of a list. So suppose we have a list of animals, and now we can use the shuffle function to rearrange all the elements in the list. And now we can print the list. As we can see, the elements are rearranged randomly. Let's have a look at an example. Here we're defining a function, who ate whom, to which we're passing a list. For example, our animals list, which is defined over here. Then we get a message. Here we have an animal, was eaten by another animal, and the other animal was eaten by yet another animal. And now the animals all come from this list. So we have to use the asterisk over here to unpack the list into individual elements. And now let's play a who ate whom game. So we're now calling this function with our list. When we first call this function, the elements and animals are in this order: fish, cat, snake. Then let's shuffle the animals and play again. So here we are shuffling the animals, and then we're using the animals list with shuffled elements as the argument to the who ate whom function. Then we are doing the same again, and one more time. So each time the order of the animal should be different. Now let's run this code. As we can see, the output is different each time. So the fish was eaten by the cat, and the cat was eaten by the snake. Then the cat was eaten by the fish, and the fish was eaten by the snake. Then we have the fish was eaten by the cat, and the cat was eaten by the snake. And the final one, the cat was eaten by the snake, and the snake was eaten by the fish. The next function is sample. This function picks one or more random elements from a sequence or set. Here's an example. Here we have a list, food, and we have elements like pasta, noodles, dumplings, pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers. And now we can use the sample function, and we need two arguments. The sequence, so food, and how many elements we want to pick. So if we want to pick one random element, we can do it like so. And now we get hamburgers. Let's run it again. Now we get pasta. And each time we run this code, we get something else at random. And now we can use the same function with a different second argument, like for example 3. And now we want to pick 3 items from this list. And here we get hamburgers, pizza, and pasta. And let's run it again. Now this time we get dumplings, hot dogs, and pizza. Let's have a look at an example program. Here we're defining a function, menu, to which we pass 3 parameters, day, meals, and number of courses. So first, the function prints menu for, and here it uses the day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. Then it creates a current menu using the sample function, and the sample function takes 2 parameters, meals and number of courses. So this is which list, which collection sequence should be used to pick the elements from, and here we say how many elements should be picked. So if the elements are picked, then we're looping over the elements and printing them out. So here we're defining our list of food we already saw before, and then we can start using this function. So let's see what's on the menu on Thursday. We're using the menu function and we pass Thursday as the day, food as our list of food, and we want to have 2 items. We want 2 items to be picked. Then we move on to Friday. On Friday we want to have 4 elements on the menu, and on Saturday we just want to have 1 thing to eat. So now let's run this code. And as you can see, here we have menu for Thursday, dumplings, hot dogs. Menu for Friday, pasta, pizza, dumplings, hot dogs. Menu for Saturday, pizza. Alright, bon appetit. Finally, we have the choice function, which returns 1 random item from a sequence. So let's create a sequence first. Students, John, Mark, Sue, Stella, Emily, George. And now let's use the choice function to pick just 1 random element from this list. So we have to pass the list as the argument. And now we get Emily. Let's try again. Mike. And again, Stella. And one more time, Sue. Okay, now let's have a look at an example program. Here we're defining a who function, which takes 1 parameter, folks, and this is a list. This is the list from which we want to pick 1 random element. First, the function is going to print a message. Who's going to clean the toilets today? Well, let me think. And here we want to imitate some time elapsing. So we need the sleep method from the time module. And this is why we have to import this module. Okay, I think I know. And again, 2 seconds. And then the loser is picked randomly from the list. The loser who's gonna clean the toilets. And here a message is printed. It's gonna be, and here we get the name of the loser in uppercase. Fine. So here's our list of students. And now we can call the function and pass students to it to see who's gonna clean the toilets. And we can do it twice because the result should be different each time. Let's now run this code. Who's gonna clean the toilets today? Let me think. Time elapsing. Okay, I think I know. It's gonna be Mike. And again. It's gonna be John, right? Well, there are many more functions in the random module, so feel free to experiment. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.